my cult is named Smiles and Blood.
Nasty Labs. Nasty Labs.
Welcome to the Nasty Labs podcast, legally the best podcast. We're part of the Hyperx podcast network, and we're the podcast from Game Studio Chuhai Labs, where we talk about games, game dev, Japan, and whatever else comes up. As always, we're your hosts, Kinsey and Mark. So open yourself up a Chuhai and let's go!
Chuhai Labs here. Hey, Kinsey, Burke, I have a question about that long intro that you've nailed over the course of the year and a half that we've been on the show. What is whatever else comes up?
It's usually food.
Okay.
Actually, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how are you, Kinsey Burke? We're not going to introduce our guest here who viewers on YouTube can see. We're not going to introduce. I'm going to put an X over your face until we get to it. Kinsey, how are you doing? Leaving him out.
I am doing absolutely fantastic. How are you on this fine whatever day of the week it is?
I'm doing all right. Well, it's Monday here in Japan. So, Kinsey, should we introduce our new guest here?
Yeah, I mean, that's the polite thing to do.
Okay. So, for all you listeners out there, we're going to be joined by our friend Wolfgang Wozniak.
It's true.
all the way from Nashville,
That's right.
Tennessee.
That's right.
Wolfgang Wozniak, who the hell are you and why should people care?
I am Wolfgang.
Sell us.
Selling you on the fact that I help run a studio called Poppyworks. We're primarily a code development studio. We do a little publishing, and right now we're doing a little development of our own as well.
Hell yeah. So a little bit more about you. I've known you now for 5 years. Like we met each other at Bitsummit. You're in Japan now because of Bitsummit.
That's right.
We the three of us worked together on one of your titles, Halloween Forever.
Yeah, you helped us bring it out on Switch.
We published it on the Switch side because you were fully incompetent, and we obviously loved working on that title. That was our first real big project together. So
Happy to train you.
Wow, what an ass. And that's a big part of Wolfgang's MO is actually that he's just an asshole all the time.
It's not true. It's not true. Only sometimes.
So what else have you been doing since you've gotten to Japan?
To Japan? Well, I have been mostly just walking around, sweating my ass off.
Oh yeah, it's hot.
Yay!
Yeah, it's late summer here in Kyoto, and I don't know who out there has been here before, but basically, imagine if any city that you've been in that has a valley in it was twice as humid.
Go on.
And so it feels like 110. And when you step outside, you're immediately sweating.
In conclusion,
shower in the evenings. The Japanese have it right by doing that.
they do. I shower twice a day, and it's still not enough.
Yeah.
Like I as a Westerner, I still always feel a little. You know.
So I never really I didn't really get it before.
Yeah.
But you stay here for a couple weeks and you go, oh.
Kyoto, it's like everyone describes it to me as like it's not even really a valley because there could be like some draft in a valley. It's a fucking bowl.
It's a fucking bowl.
It's a bowl where all the heat of Japan gets trapped.
Yep.
Yes.
And like even I think I've said it on the podcast before, like when I went to Kobe, I was like, oh, I live in Kyoto.
Right.
And she was like, ugh, the weather's gross.
Yeah.
Like instantly.
Yeah, and that's like 40 kilometers away, and they're telling us that our weather sucks. They're right. They're absolutely right. Kobe's great. It's so mild over there.
Yeah, it's not mild over here at all. Or it's been nice the last couple of days.
So I'm gonna cut you off.
Yeah,
here.
please do.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say, Kinsey, what have you been up to?
Well, I think we've all done a little bit of traveling lately.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to talk about that a little bit because like our podcast is Japan centered and like we did some Japan travel.
Uh-huh.
And
what?
so recently I went on did a bucket list item, you guys.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited.
All right.
So I did the Shinminami Kaido.
Which
that is a cycling route where you go through the Seto Inland Sea of Japan and you go through like a big string of islands. There's like 7 bridges connecting them all, and you do it all by bike.
In 10 minutes.
And it's like I think it's just over 70 kilometers total.
Whoa.
Which is not crazy, but I'm not a cyclist or an athletic person. So it was really hard. And by the end of the day, I thought I didn't have an ass. Like I had just dropped it back on the trail somewhere.
Hell yeah. So like what could somebody expect on this kind of trip? Like what did you get up to? Like it's for the views, it's for the bridges, it's for what?
The views are spectacular. Like everything is like crystal blue water. You can see like some like island mountains in the background. And there's even some like beautiful beaches. Like if I had more time, I wanted to stop like so many times along the way, but I had to like return my bike by a certain point, and I'm slow as fuck on a bike. So I was like, I gotta keep this train moving. It was an amazing experience. And I think if anyone even remotely likes cycling and views and you're in Japan, like the Shimanami Kaido was totally worth it. It was amazing.
And you're big into beer.
Yes.
Tell us.
So I didn't drink as much on the trip because I was biking.
Yes.
But I did. So once we were done with the trip, you end in Imabari, and then we took a train to Matsuyama. And from Matsuyama, we took a ferry to Hiroshima and spent a few days there. We went to Hiroshima Neighborly Brewing. And it was so good. And I think that was really the only craft beer I had along the way. There was one brewery that was on one of the islands, but it was so far out of the way, and I biked so slow that I was like, I don't think no.
I'm not going to make it.
I'm not going to make it. So we just crossed that off the list because it was on the original plan.
Gotcha.
But yeah, drank a lot. Too much beer in Hiroshima.
Boo.
It was great.
Like, what are we talking about? What's too much? Like, how do we know it's too much? What's the sign?
Is it feeling hungover like the moment you already drank because you're dehydrated? Is that what too much is?
Yeah, that's close. Yeah. Or when you wake up the next morning and you can like, oh no, and you have a little bit of that groggy drunkenness still there.
Yeah, there's no juice left.
It's like groggy drunk mixed with nausea.
What's water?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. But it was totally worth it. I went to, what's the bar called? I think the bar is called Kuba. And it's run by this guy who just learned English because he runs a bar.
Good.
And he was so fun to talk to. And like, we just like shot the shit and smoked a couple cigarettes. It was amazing.
Keeping it real. That sounds like a great trip. When will you go back? And how will you improve upon it?
I would improve upon it by actually renting a road bike. Because I rented like a nice city bike with like a basket and shit. Like it's not really a bike trip bike.
Right.
And
you get a little city bike.
Yeah. In the like first hour of the trip, I realized, oh, it only has 3 gears.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, this is gonna be a fun trip.
Right.
And so the hills were brutal on that bike.
Right, because it's a town cycle.
Yeah, exactly. And because I really wanted to rent an e-bike, but you can't do e-bikes one way. You have to return it to the same place you picked it up. So I was like, fuck, that would have been awesome if I could do it on an e-bike.
Yeah.
What's a hill? Like, that'd be great.
Right.
And then towards the end of the cycle, it's like everything that was a slight incline, I was like, oh God. Like it was a lot of work, but it was super fun. And I don't know what else I would change. I would like to stop more. So maybe rent my bike for one more day.
Right.
So that way I can like stop at some of the cool beaches. And like, there was so many cool, like little like fruit stands and takoyaki stands and things that I was like, we can't stop at every one because we're never going to make it.
Right.
Yeah. So it was really, really cool. And so you guys have also been doing some traveling.
Wolfgang?
Yeah. Well, I have an addiction to buying Japanese board games.
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
So not only did I go to several board game shops here in Kyoto, but whenever I went up to Tokyo for a day, which I had to for some work things, I spent half of my day in the other yellow submarine up there.
Oh
Nice.
my God.
And I told myself after the 3rd trip, that's enough.
It wasn't.
Yeah. Anyway, I have a second suitcase that I brought with the intent what the purpose is that in case I bought too many things, then I would have a second suitcase. So.
I was just going to ask that.
Yes.
Are you mailing everything back
No,
or?
Well, I will. So I'm going back to the States for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So when I get there, I'm going to go to the post office, mail my shit to myself, and then come back here for a Tokyo Game Show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. So I've been to board game shops with Wolfgang, and I feel like I'm a very patient person, but you know, I said feel like. No, I was just gonna say like after it as a non-board game collector like myself, like after the first hour and a half. No, wait, I'll give you 2 hours.
It wasn't that long.
Okay,
I guess it just felt like 2 hours.
Yeah.
He's embellishing.
You're absolutely right. I like 30 minutes probably to be fair. But then I'm like, oh god. But the thing is, they are all really neat,
intricate.
Yeah, there's so many amazing little games that are like Japan only, and I see why you're into it. I was trying to compliment you ultimately there.
Well, I appreciate it. Well, you were like, after 2 hours, I was ready to get out of there.
Like it does feel like, oh god, I'm running on empty over here, bro. But like, you pick these items up and you're like, wow, this is some cool ass shit. What are some top tier titles you got?
Well, I'm usually interested in there's a company here called Hobby Japan, and they've been around as far as I can tell since the 70s, but they have released kind of role-playing games that are only in one box that have no other like add-ons to them at all.
Oh, cool.
That seemingly never made their way anywhere else. So I'm usually interested in that time window of things. They're all kind of the same box size usually. So I have to kind of look over them. I bought a game called Warps. I don't know anything about it at all. So I'm going to have to just dig into there and see what's going on. I'm really kind of interested in see like in what way they're different and why they would exist. You know, what purpose would the different rule set serve, right? Because if you're running a studio and or a company and you're just publishing one role-playing set of rules, you kind of build off of that. You build new modules, settings, and
versions, blah blah blah.
Yeah, everything like that. So like, I want to know what the major differences are between these games.
And this is what I deal with. If you're tuning in right now, I have no idea what he's talking about. Versions and warps and fucking.
There's like one called like Blue Forest Saga, and there's another one called, like I said, Warps. And it's like, why, if both are fantasy adjacent or if they're not, like what is the major difference? Like why would these exist as two different rule sets?
Can you find like translations online for some of these?
No.
Or okay,
no,
sweet.
Yeah,
good luck.
Not at all. So I'm
gonna deep L it.
I'm gonna have to take it to my scanner when I get home and run through some stuff and kind of piece together what the rules were somewhat there. Yeah,
that's kind of exciting though. That's fun.
Because then you're just
judging it based on like box art and what little you can
that's pretty
read.
Much it,
and that's really fun.
Yeah.
I like it. And Mark, you've also been doing some traveling.
Yeah, mine's the least interesting. Like we should have front loaded mine because I just went to Tokyo and hung out with some buddies up there that I'd seen at Bitsummit, and I hung out with some people from Unseen Corporation, that new studio.
I thought you were being vague.
No,
that Unseen Corporation.
Oh.
Wink.
No. Yeah, I just went up to Tokyo, and and the best part was I went to a place called Soul Foods Tokyo, and it's Atlanta style soul food. I had blackened catfish and cheese and grits, and I'm telling you,
was it chizu or was it cheese?
Baby, this was cheese and grits.
Damn.
I mean, they were from Atlanta. They were like
That's
this was
awesome.
Yeah, it was incredible. It like there was like everyone in like at the place was American. Every single like all the customers, all like there was like no Japanese anywhere, and I'm, because this is a very particular food style.
Yes.
Like not everyone likes this, but people that do, we need it.
Like hella fried okra and shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely, but I had blackened catfish and like, it was so great, and that's my story,
That sounds
Kinsey
excellent.
Burke.
Well, we have a great episode lined up for you. We're going to talk about what we're playing. We're going to smooth right into the main topic. Smooth right in. Sure. And then we got news, and then we'll answer your questions from Discord.
That's right.
So stay tuned, because this episode's going to rock.
We're keeping all that
Sure.
in, dude. This episode's gonna rock. Bye.
Class is back in session. Hyperx has the grade A gear you need for dorm life, remote classes, and for schooling folks online. Shop the HyperX back to school deals going on at hyperx.com to help make your return to student life a breeze. Comfortable cloud headsets can help keep you focused in as you cram for finals with some lo-fi beats and stay positive with lightweight pulse fire mice, responsive alloy keyboards, and more. Keep your GPA and your KDA high with Hyperx products and accessories.
Wow.
Hyperx.com.
Hyperx.com.
And now it's time for What Up, where we talk about what we're playing. And, because I made up that weird rule that I guess is a thing now, guests go first.
Oh, shit.
Wolfgang, what are you playing?
I want to play that Pac-Man World remake.
Oh, yeah, that looks tight.
I saw it when it came out. I saw an ad for it on Japanese YouTube. And then I was like, ooh, is it out? And it's not out in America. Or it wasn't out in America by the time I saw the ad. But I was like, I'm going to get it. Oh.
What is Pac-Man World?
Pac-Man World is a PS1 mascot platformer with Pac-Man in it.
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
Sometimes the camera is fixed, kind of like Klonoa a little bit.
Say word.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into Klonoa.
And the dots are ammo, and you throw them at dudes.
Wait a minute. Is this the same as the Super Nintendo game where he walks right to left and you throw things?
No, he throws the things.
Oh, okay.
You're thinking of the one where he's like a virtual pet, and you
one.
Oh,
you
yeah.
influence his behavior.
Yeah, oh.
No, you have direct control.
And you shoot him, and it makes his baby cry.
No. Yeah, no. This is a PS1 game. Footage here.
But why? No. But why? Why are you interested in playing it now?
Now, because I used to go. My grandparents lived in Florida, and we went to go down there sometimes.
The home of Pac-Man.
My grandma, yes, in my world it was.
Yeah.
My grandma had a PS1 for herself,
Mm-hmm.
and she had a copy of Pac-Man World.
Nice.
So then I
Way to
played
go,
Pac-Man
Grandma.
World like 20 years ago or whatever.
And why did you bring it up today?
Because
There's
it
a new
came
one.
out like 2
Oh,
days ago.
I didn't follow that.
You didn't follow that. Oh yeah, it came out like 2 days ago.
And go on.
I haven't played it
It's
yet.
a sequel to that.
It's a
game.
remake of Pac-Man World. It's called like Repacked or some shit like this.
Repacked is good.
Yeah.
Game footage here.
Game
Repack.
footage here.
Yeah, I just saw that recently. I think I saw that same Japanese YouTube ad, but I was like, no way.
Yeah.
They're remaking that? Because, yeah, I played that back in the day. Like, it was one of the, like, 6 PS1 games I owned.
Sick.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I never owned it, but I like played it at my grandma's house
Yeah.
in Florida.
So
That's
it's
awesome.
it's Klonoa meets you shoot pellets.
Meets Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Because it does go, like,
There's some
where
pack sections.
where there is, like, pack
You
sections,
chomp.
too. Yeah. There's
You get to
chomping.
chomping.
Do you jump while chomping?
You can jump.
You can jump.
You jump around. It's a platformer.
I like platformers.
Yeah.
Well,
I think he's got a
maybe
butt stomp too.
Repack is free. It does have a bun stop. The
Bun stomp.
Butt bounce thing.
Yeah, he's got butt bounce.
This does sound like it's for me. What consoles can I get? Repack your Pac-Man
I think
World.
it's on pretty much everything.
I think so.
Well, find out.
I know it's
and
on
report
Switch.
back.
Yeah.
'cause
So,
I want to know.
It's on Switch for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on Switch
100%,
for sure.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I'm
so
gonna be getting that.
So what are you playing right now?
What am I playing right now?
Yeah.
I only play Final Fantasy 14. That's about it.
I'm gonna correct you.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Okay.
No, because 2 weeks ago you and I went to Osaka. We
Okay.
went to Silver Ball Planet, and you
That's true.
played a pinball machine called the Wizard.
Oh, I did play Pinball Wizard.
Pinball the Wizard,
Who's Pinball Wizard
And-
Pinball Machine.
and you weren't very good at it.
No.
Silver Ball Planet's rad.
I'm not a Pinball
Yeah.
Wizard.
And like every time you put in 100 yen, it would go, "Who are you?" Who?
That's right.
It didn't do that.
did
But the reason you played it was because you played the Wizard.
I did not
in
know.
the High
You
School
have it
Musical.
wrong. That
Wait,
is
you were
incorrect.
in.
That's
wait.
incorrect. He is.
I'm slightly correct.
No. So in high school, we did a production of The Who's Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was not in the production, but I ran the sound.
Mm.
He
So-
was Thomas in the.
Thomas.
No, I was not Tommy. No. But yeah, we did that a long time ago at Nashville School of the Arts. Back in, it must have been 2006 or something like that.
What an old man.
Anyway,
so
yes.
you played that,
I
and
played
you
that.
were not very good.
I was not
and
very good at it.
That was my story. That's
Yeah.
what I interrupted you for.
Actually, so if anyone is a pinball person, the one that we had a prop pinball machine in the musical in high school. I think it was Williams machine or something like
Okay.
this, called Big Ben. So it was like themed
Like
after
London
the clock
themed?
tower.
Mhm.
Yeah. It was like from the 70s or something like this.
So
That's
we're
cool.
we're not going to look this up. If you know what we're talking about,
Big Ben.
slip into his DMs and
Yeah,
send
don't.
him Big Ben. You know?
Don't send
Big
send
Ben.
me your Big Ben. I don't need to see it.
No. We do.
So, Mark, what are you playing?
Well, I'm playing. I got Game Pass again recently.
Hell yeah!
Yeah. So because our friend, our coworker RJ recommended a first-person shooter called Proteus, not Parodius, but Proteus. And I guess the game came out a few years back, but it's just now on Game Pass, and it is Doom 2016 meets Duke Nukem 3D.
Okay.
Because that
Tell me what you mean, because all I can think about is one-liners and
okay, no, it has none of the one-liners at all. It's
they
this,
stole our babes.
no, yeah, nothing cool like that.
Oh.
But the it's got I don't know what those kinds of pixels are called where they're flat.
Voxels?
No, like the
Like Paper Mario style?
sort of, yes.
It's plain. It's a picture.
Yeah, there's a word for it. It's like postering.
It's a texture. Oh, you mean it's like a billboard?
Billboard, yes. They're like billboard enemies, but like the world's very 3D, very vertical, very and it's not. You have to like bounce between your ammo really fast. Like you go from a shotgun to your chain gun to this, all within seconds because everything shoots really quickly. It is hyper violent. It is super gory. It is lo-fi, and it is probably the best first-person shooter I've played in a long time.
Damn, that's awesome.
And I love first-person
Yeah.
shooters. That's like my favorite genre, probably. So
you would love GZ Doom.
I have GZ Doom installed, and I think this might be made in GZ Doom. I can't quite tell.
Yeah,
But it has that
looks
feel.
adjacent.
Yeah, it looks better than those games that I've seen.
Yeah.
But it definitely has that feel of the best version
The
of
really
Doom.
hyped up ones of those. Yeah.
It has that same feel. for
Yeah,
sure.
if you're ever curious to see some of that stuff and like how far you can push the Doom engine, just go on Twitter and just type in GZ Doom.
It's
Oh, awesome.
wild.
and
it's
it's
wild.
like it's crazy what people can do in that.
I
have done
want our game Chu Quest to be made in GZ Doom.
Chew High Quest, huh?
Yeah, Chu Quest is a first-person shooter, and
Star the little.
Little choo-choo?
Yeah. Well, you have to save him.
To save him?
Yeah, but obviously he's the villain in the end. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Obviously.
spoilers.
Like,
Wow,
yeah,
spoilers.
well, yeah.
The game's not even out yet.
Yeah. He teams up
Wow.
with Mecha Hitler, and they've got you obviously
Yeah.
like
Choo-choo went down the wrong path.
well things happen. Yeah, so that's what I've been playing, and I'm hopefully I'm also playing Cyberpunk still. I need to beat it. I'm 200 hours into that fucking game. I'm addicted to that stupid game. It's so good.
Why? Can you tell us why?
It has a really good feedback loop. It has a really good like you complete a mission.
Do you just like hanging out in the corner like a bum in that game? Is that
no,
what you
I
do?
kill everything.
Okay.
I don't. I like nobody gets a pass from me.
Okay.
Like
See, I figured for you it'd just be like a loitering simulator.
no, I drive like I'll just drive right into a mission with the motorcycle, run over as many people, and then just like you can always do the pacifist way, and I've never once done that.
Have you tried a game called Syndicate that came out a couple years back? The
I did
EA,
not.
it's like a first-person shooter like remake of a turn-based strategy game.
You might like it.
It's actually super tight. You can like hack grenades mid-air.
I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would like Syndicate a lot.
because the hacking in Cyberpunk is
Yeah.
what I'm addicted to.
Yeah. So this is a first-person shooter.
Okay.
Syndicate is. And the campaign, as I understand it, is really good. But the draw of that game was there was 4-player co-op that apparently the missions were really, really, really good. I don't know if you can still play it online or not, though. EA.
Boring.
But you should try it out.
Yeah,
It's
Okay.
probably going to be like $5 on Steam or something.
probably, yeah.
I will try it because I'm addicted to those types of games.
Yeah.
And
There's a design vision for that one.
really.
Mm.
All right. So enough about cyber hacking. Kinsey Burke, you're playing the most interesting game of all of us here today.
Speaking of killing people,
Yay!
killing a lot of people,
Mhm.
I'm playing Call to the Lamb.
Yay!
Oh, is that good?
Yeah, I've been really, really enjoying it because it's kind of like roguelite meets Animal Crossing, kind of.
So
like,
is it kind of like what I'm saying maybe a weird question. What Animal Crossing was supposed to be?
Shots fired.
No. Do you remember what the original like?
Yeah, because before wasn't it a little bit more like Rune Factory-esque?
It was like Diablo. Animal Crossing was.
Oh,
Did you know this, Mark?
You had to like kill a butcher that would be like meat.
So the reason there's like horns in the original Animal Crossing game, your little guy's got horns, is because that's a leftover from the Viking helmet that wasn't in the game after they turned it into a village sim.
That's cool.
That sounds way more fun.
So there's a
Lamb.
So Animal Crossing, right, was just like there was a town and you did town stuff like you do in Animal Crossing, but there was a dungeon element.
Oh,
so
yeah.
is Cult of the Lamb kind of like this?
Rune Factory or like Moonlighter. On this one, I've been doing a lot of the town stuff, but I'm like 3 bosses in. I think there's 4. At least there's 4 that's presented to you that there might be after the stuff. But like, so, and you run your village and you run your cult and you get to make decisions like, do we sacrifice people? Do we use people as fertilizer? Do we eat grass? Do I like take tithes from my people? Like you have to like make all these like town decisions.
Hell yeah.
And like, you build a bunch of stuff. You can build a little farm. So then it has that aspect too, where like you can have people, as you level it up, like at first you can only have people plant and water stuff, but you have to pick it. And then if you level it up, then they can harvest stuff. Like it's kind of has that little bit mobily feel where I'm like, oh, I gotta go. All my shit's ready to harvest, you know?
Yeah.
And you have
all
to,
the cookie clicker stuff's going on upstairs.
Exactly.
Click, click,
yeah,
click.
yeah. If you put out scarecrows, the birds won't eat your shit.
Yeah.
Like, and then in my village, I have it so when people die, because I didn't want to have too big of like a graveyard.
Right.
So we can use their bodies to make compost to make our stuff
milkshakes.
better. Yeah.
Turn them into fucking dust.
And like it's so fun because like I've only had one person dissent where they like stop believing in you and start shouting like they'll like set up a little thing like don't believe him, you know. And so then you like I made a prison and that guy went to jail.
Whoa,
cool.
And like I have this one follower who wants to play pranks on people. And they were like, hey, let's make this guy eat poop. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And he kept like pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing until eventually they're like, let's do the ultimate prank. Let's kill him.
Good.
And I was like, yes, the ultimate prank.
And you did it.
I didn't do it.
I
know.
You're a miserable
I know.
god.
My town, I don't really sacrifice people, I decided. I tax the hell out of them.
Okay.
Good.
But I'm big on food and vacations. So I let them have time off a lot where they just wear Hawaiian shirts and walk around. And
This cult is sounding better all the time.
and we have like
bad.
feasts and bonfire dances.
Okay.
And then I tax the hell out of them.
Oh,
and then
wow.
Jesus Christ.
Well,
so then I can afford all the cool shit.
maybe it's not
And-
sounding so nice.
It's been really, really fun, and I've been really addicted to it. And even the dungeons and like the combat is really fun to me. It's really satisfying, and it's a roguelite that has a difficulty setting, which they're like, you know, normally really hard.
Sure.
And I'm not very good at those kind of games. So being able to put it on very easy and just kind of breeze through the combat and never getting like frustrated. Like I think I've died one time the whole time I've been playing.
So who developed Cult of the Lamb?
It was Massive Monster and then
Monster.
Published by Devolver.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you know where Massive
I have
Monster is?
no idea.
I want to say they're in Brighton. Sorry, Massive Monster, that I don't know
Sorry.
the exact location.
Yeah,
They
give me
are-
your studio address.
They are in the UK.
Okay, cool.
But yeah,
I was curious.
it's been awesome. I am really, really enjoying it.
Cool.
What console are you playing on?
I'm playing it on PC.
Got it.
Mhm.
Do you plan on streaming?
It does have Twitch integration.
That's what I was gonna
That's
ask,
really,
yeah.
really cool. I'm not quite sure how it all works because I've never streamed it and I've never seen someone stream it. But it sounds like when you get a new follower, your chat can help pick what they're going to look like and name them and stuff. And like that's so cool that games can do that now.
Yeah, it's a great way to get banned from Twitch.
Depends on your audience,
That's
but
true.
I could see it.
Exclamation point something.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it's a really cool way to like involve the chat more
That's
in your
true.
gameplay, and that's really cool. Not a lot of games are like do that.
Yeah, it's hard.
I'm sure it's a
because
programming nightmare.
Well, it's not really that. It's more of a design thing because it's like you don't like. Okay, someone could have 10 people watching, or someone could have 20, 40, 50,000 people watching, and
Yeah.
it's like you don't know where it's
Right.
going to break down at scale or anything like that, right? So you sort of have to account for that sort of thing. It's really complicated.
Yeah. But cool.
Don't let Mark make you try this.
What? That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Does sound fun.
No, I mean, it's a stream.
Okay.
That sounds like super fun.
Okay.
For her.
Okay.
And she's going to do it.
Cool. Oh, really?
We'll see.
Oh, is she now?
We'll see. But all in all, I'm loving it so far.
Great.
So it's a 9 out of 10 Kinseys.
Wow, 9 out of 10 Kinseys. We're bringing back the scale. Hell yeah! Wow. Okay, that's an A.
Yeah. I really like it.
Wow.
Is Kinsey going to complete Cult of the Lamb?
I think I will. Yeah. Because I only have 1 or 2 more bosses left. So, and my cult is pretty sizable at this point. So yeah. I think I
Can
might
you
beat it.
sacrifice all of them? Can you just kill them all?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know if you can do it all at once. I'm sure that there's.
You need people tilling the field.
I wonder if there's a thing that you can unlock where you do like
Making-
a mass suicide, like everyone joins
Yeah.
in your little thing and you all take the
Devolve or
poison.
digital? If you could answer that question.
Because I can
Mackenzie's
sacrifice them
DMs.
like one at a time, or I can poison them. There's a couple different ways I can get rid of them, but I can't do it like everybody at once.
Mm.
So that'd be a nice little bow on top into the game.
Very nice.
We'll just all do a massive suicide,
Very
but
pleasant.
mine is not poison, even though I told all my followers it is. So then we do it, and then I'm
Whatever.
like, cool, I'm gonna go start a new cult somewhere else.
right. Obviously.
Planet
Yeah.
X
Yeah,
comes
yeah.
around. Yep.
I mean,
Genius.
yeah. All right.
Reach ascension.
Ascending by drinking this sweet poison juice. Drink it while it's hot. When it's most poisony.
Drink it and drop it like it's hot.
Yeah.
That's how I'm
Yeah.
going out.
Okay.
So you're gonna beat the game, and got any last words about Cult of the Lamb?
Cult of the Lamb is great. My cult is named Smiles and Blood.
Sequelcast 2 and Friends looks at movies and video games and franchises, one movie and game at a time. Hosted by Matt Bradley Shergi, Thrasher, and Alex Miller, been going since 2009, and we're part of the HyperX podcast network.
And now it's time for our weekly topic, and it's none other than Bitsummit. Because Bitsummit just happened. That's why you're here.
That's right.
And it was an amazing show. So I'll let the guests go first again.
Oh,
but
boy.
what were you showing at the show?
Yeah.
How was your Bitsummit?
Yeah.
Hold on.
What?
I'm cutting him
Cut.
off, and I'm just gonna say, hold on, Kinsey, tell him what the hell Bitsummit is,
Oh,
and
good
also
idea.
like this is like guest go last today because this is your first Bitsummit. That's way more important.
This is my very first
Yeah,
Bitsummit.
so what is
the
Bitsummit?
Bitsummit?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. you need
And
some-
so Bitsummit is a indie game show that
Wait, are we
takes place
cutting? I'm sorry.
in.
no,
Oh.
no, we're going for it.
Oh. We're going for it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Wolfgang.
I don't know what's going on.
So Bitsummit is a indie game convention that takes place in Kyoto, Japan,
Yep.
Uh-huh.
right in our backyard.
That's right.
So of course I was really, really excited for it.
Mhm.
And like I did hear that it was like a little bit small. And so actually it blew my expectations away because I thought it was actually going to be a little bit smaller than it was. And I guess this year there was like a real event company that helped them like set it up.
Oh,
So it
really?
looked very like small packsy. Like it looked really nice.
Yeah. Okay. So like they partner with PlayStation. They partner with Microsoft. They partner with Red Bull. They partner with Nintendo. It's sure there are fewer people as a whole,
Yeah.
but like the partners are as big as it gets.
Oh,
Cup of
totally.
noodle.
Yeah,
And Cup Noodle.
Cup of
was
Noodle.
there. Thank God for them. No, but like the partners are as big as it gets.
Mhm.
Any event would be more than happy to have them on the show.
Yeah.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Kinsey, you've been to events all around the world. How does this like stack up to things like PAX? How does it stack up to those?
Well, it was definitely smaller, but I think it definitely like still had that feel.
Right.
And I think what I liked most about it that makes it a little bit unique is it was all like down the middle of the convention hall was like single tables. Sort of like the Indie Mega booth, but a lot more tables and less like decoration.
Sure.
And it just showcased so many indie games.
But somehow less cramped than the mega booth.
Yeah, way
yeah.
less cramped. Like actually there was a lot of space to walk around,
Yeah.
even when it felt really full. I just really love that this event exists and it has sponsors, like PlayStation and everything that like. And they're only showing indie games at their booth. Like, they're not being like, woo, Call of Duty.
Right.
Also, these indie games. Like,
Yeah.
indie games are really at the forefront.
That they aren't just at the forefront. It's like, this is an indie show.
Yeah.
And like you won't see, like you said, Call of Duties. You won't see anything. There will be no Mario titles at this show, even
That's
though
right.
Nintendo will have a huge booth. It's just like they will actually hand select titles that aren't even made by Nintendo.
Yeah, I think a good example of that is I think they had a booth there that had Elekhead, and
Right.
that's just one guy in Tokyo made that as part of a collective, and that's was shown by Nintendo, I think, this year.
That's so cool. And like, there was also like a whole row of like experimental style games.
Right.
And that was so cool because it's something I have never seen at like, a PAX or a South by Southwest or anything. Like, there was just one that was like, it was being shown on like the side of a bathtub.
Right.
But the whole point was that you could basically play it throughout your house. And it's not just a game. They're just showcasing the game because it's a game show. But you could also have like recipes that pop up on your counter, or maybe the recipe with the food dish next to it. Like kind of lights and AR-ish style. But the game that they were doing, you could play in the bath, and it was just like lights coming up on the side of the bathtub, and it's like a rhythmy thing. And it was just showing how you could like transform, like, this could be the future,
Right.
What part of the hall was this in?
It was
I
like
don't remember this.
where we were, where the
Yeah.
Chuhai Labs, the mixed
Yeah.
booth was. It was straight down into the corner from
Oh.
us, away from the stage.
I believe you.
Yeah. But there was like a bunch of like weird kind of games like that. There was like a telephone game and like a umbrella game.
Yeah. I saw some of that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess
so
that shows how
cool.
much it's kind of grown since I started going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's pivot over to you. You've been coming now. This is your sixth,
I've been coming since
6 years.
2016.
2016, 2017.
No, 2016.
2017.
2017.
Correct. That was your first when you were wearing. That was when
I
we
wasn't
met.
quite sure.
That was when
because I
we
didn't know I
met,
was there
and
a
our
year
first
beforehand or
time.
the year-
You were wearing a gold lame suit. I was
Gold
like,
lame?
It was. It was a gold lame
Not
suit.
gold
It was
lame.
gold sparkles. Gold. I don't
It's
know.
true.
I don't know what those sparkles are called.
Sequins?
Sequins. Thank you very much.
LeMay.
Yeah, gold lame would have been tight too. All right, but I was like, that's the guy. He's the guy for me.
It was love at first sight.
Yeah, no,
It was.
I had gone to Harajuku a couple days beforehand and went to I don't know the name of the store, but it's like this Fu Manchu, David Bowie, disco wizard,
Oh, hell yeah.
space sci-fi.
That's where you got that jacket.
Yeah.
you son of a bitch.
You know
It is
the
a-
one where they sell like mirror, like gladiator bikini things. They're made out of
Nice.
mirrors.
You had me at gladiator bikini thing.
Why didn't you get a gladiator bikini with mirrors on it and the jacket? What a combo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they've got these giant, so you can get, like, if you want to spend a bunch of money, you totally can, but they've got, like, these sci-fi, I don't even know what to call them. They're like robes, but they've got these huge shoulder pads.
Nice.
Like, it's all, like, super science fiction, like, crazy
That's awesome.
shit you would see in
I'm
going to
be going there in
sequins all
2
over
weeks
it.
during Tokyo Game Show.
I will take you.
All right, yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Tell us about what you showed and your history with Bitsummit.
Sure, yeah. So this time I showed 2 games. One was a game that we're helping bring out globally, which is called Melon Journey: Bittersweet Memories.
Right.
It's so cute.
And that's a kind of a top-down adventure game. You go around and you try to solve the mystery of what happened to your friend.
What did happen?
Well, that's the game.
spoilers.
So
No, I mean, I'm not going to play it. So just go ahead and tell
Oh.
everyone.
yeah, you will.
Yeah, I will. But
Yeah,
go.
you
Let's
will.
just give us a hint.
What-
Does he live?
Who can say what happened to your friend?
That's what you're trying to figure out.
That's right.
I'm not.
You sure are.
All right.
I
You play-
will make you play it, whether
And-
you want to or not.
And you also showed.
And I showed another game called Slave Zero X, which is
X.
which is a sequel, or I guess prequel, to a Dreamcast game that came out in 1999.
Nice.
A real prequel to a
real
Dreamcast
game.
title from
That's right.
1999.
So Melon Journey looks kind of like a Game Boy game.
Right.
You walk around, you solve some puzzles, you talk to people, find clues, interact with little cute characters. And the other game is like high action fighting game style brawler.
It's like a bloody ass,
That's right.
like just blood,
Biomechanical,
guts and fucking
guitars.
Yeah, it's
yelling.
H.R. Giger and fucking
It's like
Tetsuo the Iron Man.
That's right.
I love how opposite the two games you're showing.
The two games are very, very, very different. So one is comparable to Animal Crossing in the sense that it takes place in a small town. Most of the characters are little animals and stuff like that. You're talking to them. There's a little story.
The story is like, my feelings are hurt. I have
no,
to
not at all. It's not like that at all.
And the other one's like, I'll kill you. And yeah.
I would say that the one with the I'll kill you has a lot more of hurt feelings than the other game does.
My feelings are hurt, and I'm a robot.
That's right. So anyway, so Melon Journey is this kind of like kind of cute, kind of funny, well written, very fun game to kind of just mess with and play with and sort of solve this little mystery. And every environment's got like, you can walk up to the table and read some, they have this thing in stock, and like every shelf has a funny little thing about it. You can read about, like, if you see a trail of ants, you can walk up to them and like read about what the ants are doing and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, it's great.
Sounds like a game I would like.
It's wonderful, and I saw it years ago, and whenever I did, I said, "Oh my God, how can I be involved with this, and how can I help them bring their game to fruition?" And that game's made by 3 people. There's a kind of a director person. She wrote a lot of dialogue, and she had a lot to do with the actual art itself. There's a programmer, and he had put together a lot of the script. I mean, they both collaborated on the content, but he put the game together. And then the third person is kind of the producer and kind of helps them achieve what goals they want to achieve and what they set for themselves.
Nice.
So that game's really, really wonderful, and I'm excited to say that we think it's going to come out around like later this year.
Awesome.
That's where things are looking, and it's been a long time if you followed this at all. This is technically a sequel to a game that came out in 2012.
Shout out.
Yeah, but you don't need to play the original game at all.
So I was gonna ask. I didn't know if that was actually public.
Yeah.
Because it used to be called Melon Journey 2, and at some point, you were like, let's cut this to.
Yeah. So the reason so it is a sequel, but the original game is like it's very short. So and it just kind of sets up some of the characters a little tiny bit, but it was basically like a couple of kids in college made something over a week or two, right? The original game is. So this other thing is so transcendently larger, so much bigger in scope, so much larger in scope, and you're always playing as Honeydew. There's two characters in the original game. You get to pick one you want to play as, and this game you're playing as one of them. And so there's a lot more character stuff happening in Melon Journey Bittersweet Memories than was ever happening in the original game.
Got it.
The original game is more like a toy. To this.
So this would be the original game would be Final Fantasy Crisis Core, and this would be Final Fantasy 7.
Whoa.
Yes.
I love Crisis Core.
No, I just
if you want to view it in terms of
you
scope,
don't need it for the story. You don't need it that's just about some guy named Zach that doesn't really matter.
More like it's more like yeah. It's pretty small overall. So we decided to not call it Melon Journey 2 anymore because that would have made people think they needed to have played the original game,
that makes sense.
Which they don't need to have. It only gives them a little tiny bit of character development for who's going to show up in the second game.
You could almost re-release the original as like a demo.
Yeah,
as like a...
we were, if you attended Bitsummit, we were showing a demake of the original game on Game Boy.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And that's coming out.
And that is also coming out.
Through the publisher.
Through somebody.
Name.
Somebody. Something.
I
don't know how
exciting.
much I'm allowed to say about that, but it is being released
maybe-
in North America and Japan on cartridge.
You heard it here first.
Heard it here
folks.
first, actually. That is true. That is true. Yeah, so Melon Journey will be on Game Boy. And
that's so
Melon Journey
exciting.
Bittersweet Memories will be available on everything you can imagine.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Did we really just get like a
Exclusive?
Yeah,
Hot
exclusive?
like a Game Boy game coming soon.
Yeah, it's true.
That's so
true.
cool.
That's true.
And so Chuhai Labs also had quite a big presence at Bitsummit this year, which was really exciting, especially since it was my first one.
Yeah.
And so Curse to Golf was at 2 booths. Curse to Golf, available now on all the things, and I think it's still 10% off on Steam. And it was at 2 booths. It was at the PlayStation booth and the Thunderful booth.
Right.
And then on top of that, we also had the Chuhai Labs Cross the Mix booth. And that was where we were streaming and interviewing devs, and we just had a grand old time.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Wolfgang was actually on showing.
That's true.
Showing Slave Zero X.
Mhm.
Yeah, we had little 10.
Probably about 10 interviews.
10 interviews all told with developers from all around the world, from Tokyo to Brisbane to everywhere. I can't think of any more. I think that's all. We only had 2. Nashville. We all,
In Sweden.
and Sweden. I don't even remember. And we had some French guys that live in Tokyo. I don't remember, but it was our first time really doing a live stream of that scope. Like, we basically. So Bitsummit came to us. We approached Bitsummit and said, "Hey, we're thinking about live streaming. Like, how would you be interested in this?" And they thought it was a great idea. So we built the stage. We brought on the Mix, which is a company in the States, to help us with the live streaming. Then all of a sudden, Bitsummit said, "What do they say?"
Oh, by the way, you're the official English language stream of Bitsummit.
And we're like,
Thanks, John Davis.
Thank you, John Davis. Thanks to all of those. No, so that went. That's not what we expected.
Yeah, it was just kind of surprising because all of a sudden we think, we're kind of our little stream, which, and then all of a sudden it's like, by the way, you're also going to cross stream to all of these places. So a lot of people are going to see it.
Giant Chuhai logo behind you.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately we still had a great time.
It was awesome.
It was still as lo-fi as we had dreamt. It was just a little more tense because we had more
a little bit more pressure,
serious business,
a lot more masters to please, and we had to present all of our data and all of our analytics. We just wanted to have a chill ass booth and just say the F word a bunch of times.
We did have to edit part of our set.
We did?
Yeah, we had a light up board that said
the U.
What
was
did it
removed.
say? Bitsummit, fuck yeah.
Bitsummit,
and
fuck
we
yeah,
got in trouble. We had to take the U out.
We had to take one letter out of it. It was just,
and then it was okay.
And it was fine. No, I mean the logic behind that was
I get it.
Yeah, what if the auto system at Twitch sees that and bans it? So I guess that makes sense.
Robots banning your ass.
We're just too hot.
Too hot.
We're just too hot.
Luckily, the robots don't even know what a Chuhai is yet.
Yet.
Soon.
That's a good point. Oh, are you not allowed to drink on?
You're allowed to fucking gamble cryptocurrency on
Hell
Twitch
yeah,
if it's
dude.
legal in the region that you're doing it in.
Finally.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, you can get kids hooked on fucking gambling.
Oh,
Hell
dang
yeah.
for it.
cool.
But you can't show feet, dude.
Yeah.
And you can't fart. You can't fart in a. What do they do?
Oh my god! Don't even talk about the fucking fart meta. Okay.
It's so bizarre. Oh man.
So speaking of Bitsummit
Yes, good,
and
good.
farts, because I'm sure there's a lot of crop dusting at Bitsummit, so it's a
Oh,
really good
God.
segue, you guys.
Oh, boy.
So speaking of Bitsummit,
How
much does
we
it
have a
tax?
listener question that's all about Bitsummit.
Okay.
Because I believe this person was also there. So. Question from Patrick. What were the most memorable indie titles from Bitsummit? There were so many greats, but I'm curious what stuck out to everyone here.
I have an answer, but I don't know the name of it.
Cool.
I can describe it.
Go for it.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go.
And if you know it,
Okay.
comment below.
Yeah, comment below if you know what the fuck Wolfgang's talking about. It's a solo developer making a game in Unreal Engine. It's it's a setting. The setting is fantasy.
Go on.
It's a third-person character action game, and you can play a human, a human knight, like an orc with a big old axe and all this stuff, and it looks really amazing. And it's one guy, and he's been working on it for 10 years.
Dang.
Comment below.
Comment below
if you know.
if you know
a game
this
about an
character
orc
action
with an
game.
axe.
Yeah, that was cool.
That's awesome.
I wish I knew what it was called.
Shit, man, that was.
I told him it was rad. Oh, there was one called Ninja something. There's another ninja game. It wasn't Scott's game. It was another ninja game whose name I also don't remember.
Cool.
This has been my Wolfgang vaguely remembers Bitsummit segment.
Mark, did any games stick out to you?
Listen, man, I was running 2 games. I was just running around sweating the whole time.
You were really sweaty. You were
This stuff isn't working. Yeah.
No, pass. Go.
So I honestly didn't get to play too much around the show floor because we were streaming basically the whole time. So based on what I played at the show, so we actually played Cult of the Lamb on our stream, and that solidified that I wanted to play it because I wasn't really sure at first, and so I selfishly booked them to play on our stream.
So selfish.
So I could try it out. And we had Clara from Devolver on, and she was amazing. Talked me through a lot of like the beginning parts in the tutorial, and I was like, you know what? Yes, I want to play this game. And actually, I actually continued my save from the stream.
Whoa.
What?
Wait, how?
Because we were playing on my laptop.
Oh.
Shout out to Clara from Devolver.
So then I just like continued the game I started on stream, and it was great. And I'm really excited that I got to play it there. And then also, I got to interview the devs from Toem.
Right.
And I know that I've already played it like twice, and it's been out a long time, but I was very excited to have them on and hear way more about it, because when I played it, I didn't really know that much about the game. I just was like, oh, this looks cute, I'll play it. And I played it, and then talking to them and interviewing them, I got to learn so much about it. They showed me a few Easter eggs, and that was really cool. But other than that, I just really liked all the super weird, like the bathtub game and like all the really crazy stuff that I got to see. I think that's my answer.
Cool.
Yeah, Bitsummit!
Us. We're the Spirit Hunters, and we're a show that treats Hunter x Hunter and Yu Hakusho's author as the center of the universe. Some weeks we do linguistic analysis. The Chinese meaning of this character is to smelt or refine, but so the changed meaning in Japanese it means to temper. Other times, we get absolutely smashed.
So we take one shot every time. Yusuke uses the ray gun. 1 hour later.
This is the least coherent episode.
Sarah, I think your apartment is haunted.
Check us out at the Hyperx Podcast Network.
And now it's time for the news! So EVO 2022 just happened the same weekend as Bitsummit, and publisher SNK released a short video announcing an all-new Fatal Fury game. The last title in the series was Fatal Fury Mark of the Wolves, which was released in 1999.
Wow.
So, like Slave Zero, it's been a while.
Garu.
Is that what we...
Garu Mark of the Wolves.
Yeah.
Garu Mark of the Wolves.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was like the sound effect. When Garu.
It sounds very onomatopoeia, doesn't it? I kind of like that.
Yeah. So Fatal Fury is a fighting game. Go on.
But they didn't even really have like a trailer. They just had like a
JPEG?
video of an image, and that's all they had.
Yeah.
Video.
But people really like Fatal
Like
Fury.
a logo
so.
build.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really what the video was a slow pan of a JPEG.
Oh, like when Windjammers, when that like
Yeah.
a long time ago, it was just like a video, but barely a video. Okay, so that's good.
So what do we think? I mean, like, is there anything to really think about that?
No, there is.
Okay.
Fatal Fury. It is fun. I don't know anything about Fatal Fury.
So Garu Mark of the Wolves is a fighting game. Is Fatal Fury that's a side-scrolling beat 'em up, right?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Fatal Fury that's Terry.
I know Terry Bogard.
Terry Bogard, yeah. But no, that's fighting game.
There's so many names for these SNK games that it's hard for me to know which one's a brawler and which one's a fighting game.
Oh, that's fair.
Because
some of them are brawlers.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, some of them are brawlers.
Yeah, and there's like SNK versus the other franchises, and they've got their own thing. And there's like Fatal Fury's got like I think 2 names. Like Garu Mark of the Wolves is different than Fatal Fury Mark of the Wolves. And so I just can't keep up with which one's which. But Terry being in anything is always a good thing.
I think now that SNK is back, apparently, I mean, they're gonna set the record straight once and for all.
Okay, I hope so.
With Garu, Mark of the Revolt.
Set the record straight with me.
Yeah.
Which thing are we talking about?
Yay, Evo and fighting game.
Well, because they made a King of Fighters top-down MOBA there for a while, too.
So that means they can make anything.
So wait. Okay. Fatal Fury and King of Fighters both have Terry Bogard.
Yes.
Okay, I'm lost.
King of Fighters has a bunch of
multiverse.
SNK stuff in it. So there's like Metal Slug people are in
Oh,
King of Fighters.
I didn't know that.
Sometimes.
So yeah.
That's their Marvel vs. Capcom. Throw in everybody, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's their soup.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's why it's hard for me to keep track of who's and what constitutes what type of game.
But speaking of old retro games, we have our next story.
Okay.
So this one I think is actually really cool. So it took players 28 years to find this brand new cheat in Super Punch-Out. Turns out there's multiplayer. Twitter account Unlisted Cheats posted to access the newly discovered 2-player mode. You'll need to enter a newly found free match mode by holding Y and R on a controller plugged into the player 2 slot, then pressing start on player 1 controller, then select a fighter, and once on the player info screen, hold B and Y on the second controller while pressing start. There's a lot going on here. On the player 1 controller, and bam! 2-player.
I like that you gave people
2-player.
like directions on how to do it.
Full explanation.
Yeah, like you press the AB on.
You're gonna need to rewind this part of the podcast.
Wow, Kinsey.
Slow it down.
So this has got to be some of the biggest gaming news in probably years. Honestly,
Yeah, I'm actually surprised like more people aren't talking about it just because I think it's so cool.
Conceptually, it is amazing. I've watched a couple of videos. Wolfgang, you haven't even heard about this until
No, I
today.
hadn't.
Wolfgang, you're a huge Punch-Out fan.
Yeah, sure. I love Punch-Out, especially when it's super.
He was talking a lot of shit about the game right before. But it's basically
Hey, Mario's in it sometimes.
it's sort of. Yeah, that's not really important. It's a rhythm game dressed up as a boxing game. But this whole 2-player thing, obviously, it feels like it was they weren't sure if they were going to make
like
it
a debug thing.
a debug thing, or if yes, it's a debug thing for sure. But they didn't know if they were going to actually make it 2-player.
Yeah.
But you can select which character you want to be. You can select.
And that's like one player plays as the bosses, right? And then one player plays as like the Little Mac character.
Yeah. So, but is his name Little Mac in this one as well?
I don't actually know. That's why I said character. Little Mac adjacent character.
Yes. Let's go with that. I think his name is slightly different in this. Doesn't fucking matter. The view never changes. It's like the game doesn't actually change at all. You just play it regularly, except you get to pick vodka Drinkinski or
Soda Popinski.
or what's the baguette guy?
The French
Glass.
one? Glass Joe?
That's right. Isn't it? Right?
Yeah, it is. You're absolutely
Okay.
right. Come on.
But is that the Super Nintendo?
In the Super Nintendo, that's the one who he
Okay.
says, come on. That's the first guy.
I believe you.
I could only get to the second stage because that game was too hard, and
Well, now you can play it 2-player and play all the bosses.
No, I can't. Because I never.
I wonder. So it's fully functional, right?
Yep.
Totally works.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wonder. There's no.
I'm sure that.
There's no instability we know
No,
about.
this is like you can use a retail game and play.
No,
this.
I know, but I'm wondering what the reason would be to not do it, right? Like if it's totally functional, it's totally in there, and there's just some weird way to get to it for dev reasons. There's got to be maybe marketing was we don't like this for some reason, right? If it's fully in
who knows?
there,
Right.
it's totally functional. You get there with some, weird button combos.
We don't know how to sell this. It's
Right. Maybe,
it's not good
maybe
enough.
it's people will perceive this as a fighting game or something,
Right.
and this is not what we're trying to sell. And I wonder what the reason could have possibly been.
But for one thing, it's never a fair fight because you're always fighting against a different type of character. It's the main player will always win.
Maybe this is for devs to try out the boss fights without having to write any proper logic.
That's
and
what I think.
figuring out what their pattern or whatever is going to be.
Yeah.
And seeing how hard it is.
The most fun
That-
it could be.
That actually makes more sense
Yeah.
than any other reason I was coming up with a minute ago.
But I think it's a combination of both. I'm
Maybe.
sure the devs were like, look, we
We did
put-
this already.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
It's fully fleshed out. The fact that you can choose characters, they went the extra mile.
Yeah.
Except the marketing and them probably just didn't think it was that fun
Yeah.
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Interesting.
But it's cool that it took so long to find out. I mean, it involves like 2 controllers, numerous button combinations.
Yeah, I guess it's sort of like, it's 28 years, God. Yeah, this must be a case where, someone in Nintendo went and made this a long time ago and then either didn't feel like they could talk about it, or maybe they didn't even know that the game shipped with this in there.
They might not have even known. Devs,
just part of the dev process.
Like an oops.
Well, or they just left it in there and didn't turn it off or realize it.
It's cool. Amazing. It goes to show how many secrets there can be in titles.
Oh yeah,
and you can still find them.
Totally.
Yeah.
People forget to turn shit off all the time.
Yeah.
It just makes you wonder, like, what else is out there. I'm sure there's, a ton more like secrets and Easter eggs and all these things in retro games that we haven't found yet.
Yeah, and especially because that like there are hackers out there like trolling all of these titles for every single detail, and like this is a Nintendo made property. People have spent thousands of hours with this game,
and that's why I find it a little interesting that no one had seen this before. I guess it's because it's Super Punch Out and not Punch Out, because that was always the more popular one. Was the home version of the original game,
right? Of course,
right. And this is like, I didn't even really remember that Super Punch Out existed before you mentioned this, to be honest with you, because that original game with, not Mike, Mr. Dream or whatever his name is officially now, that game was always the one that people talked about.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's really cool that they found it. And now it's time for listener questions. Call me up, where we answer your questions from Discord.
Hello?
If you want to ask us a question, just head on over to our Discord, scroll on down to that Call Me Up thread
Discord
thing, and do that. And ask your questions, and we'll answer it. Yay!
Yeah, we answer almost every question as shown by the first question. Kinsey Burke, what is the first question? Good
okay, so...
Oh, boy.
Squid Poquo asks, can you burp the alphabet? And bonus points, can you burp like the Japanese hiragana alphabet?
You ready?
The answer to that question, it's a question. It's a listener question, isn't it? The answer is no, I can't.
A.
He just said the word A after burping, which is different.
I can't burp on command.
B.
I can do that too. B.
I am burping. It's very uncomfortable.
So it sounds like Mark is... No. It sounds like Mark... That he almost puked a little bit there, and we're not going to subject listeners to that any longer.
So uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I don't like this game.
Headphone users beware.
Yeah.
Okay. He just said E after burping. So that's the answer to your question. Thank you very much, Squid Whoa.
I just can't burp on
very
command.
Important. Yeah. Okay. Turn your radios down.
Didn't like that at all. All right.
Okay, now that I'm like cry laughing. Actually, thank you a lot for that question, because that was fun. Next question is from our mod, Steven. He says, Bitsummit was great. It was great seeing you at Bitsummit, Steven. But let's say you come across a magical genie who can only grant the wish of giving Kyoto any type of Bitsummit-like event, anything but games.
You mean a convention?
Yes. What kind of summit would you wish for? Anything but games.
All right. So previously, I wanted to have Dick Summit.
Okay.
And also Shit Summit.
Continue.
Shit Summit sounds pretty cool though, right? Like, hear me out, right? Like,
okay,
they have
definitely
the
hearing
food museum in
No.
Tokyo.
This is not about actual shit. It's about how you take a shit. It's like future of toilets. Like,
this is what you want?
Yeah, why not? It's like, dude, it's my magical fucking genie. Right? So, like, I'm sitting down.
Future toilets. Wait,
like,
you can have the bathtub game.
Yeah, and I can shit in bathtubs. Is that what you're saying?
No, but like a bathtub game, but on a toilet. I mean, I know he said anything but games, but it's game adjacent.
So, my like one of my toilets is
I'm like shutting down over
a lazy boy. Like,
oh yeah,
you can recline.
I understand what you're saying.
Okay,
it's got a massager in it, and you're like,
see, yeah, like
my life force is being drained.
Yeah. All right, what kind of magical genie grant wish
for any kind
Bitsummit?
of like event. out
yeah,
here?
yeah.
Very good
an event in
question.
Kyoto.
You know, they seem to have a lot of Matsurai out here, like little festivals, but they're kind of small scale. Like it seems like it's okay. There's like 20 people with fans marching down the streets going, huh, you know, for like maybe an hour and a half, and then it just suddenly ends.
Gion Matsuri was packed this
Well,
year.
I wasn't there for that, so I can only imagine.
Yeah.
It would be nice, I think, to have like, how big is Gion Matsuri?
It's pretty big. That's
How
when
long
they
does
do.
it go on for? How many days is that?
4 days?
4 days. I think?
Oh, I'd like to attend that.
Yeah.
Well, you'll be in luck because Bitsummit 2023 will be at the last day of. This is actually
Really?
breaking news.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Whoopsie doodle! It will be the last day of Gion Matsuri.
When is that?
I believe
Like in spring?
I'm
please?
gonna shut the fuck up because I might get in trouble, but it's probably in May.
Oh, thank God!
Probably.
It's so hot at the end of the year. Oh my God!
Probably.
Okay, I want to be back here in spring. That would be so nice.
yeah.
Okay.
So what's your summit?
Yeah, what's your summit? Dude?
Oh.
Festival summit.
Festival, Japanese festival summit, please.
Okay, great,
Yeah,
cool.
That sounds nice.
Moving
I've never
on.
actually been to a proper one.
Oh, it's really fun.
I've missed
it's really
every single
crowded, though.
festival.
Well,
One
Just
day.
because like the timing has been off every time.
no Wolfgangs allowed.
and that's the other reason.
Add it up to here with this. dude.
the entire country goes, Wolfgang's kidding.
Fuck, Wolfgang's
this bitch
here.
off.
Kinsey Burke.
Mine is not funny and very predictable.
Uh-oh. Beer Summit?
Oh no, is it Beer Summit?
Is it Beer Summit?
No.
It would be Beer Summit.
Boo.
But I would want to do it more like, I know homebrew is illegal in Japan,
What?
but what if it wasn't and it was like a cool homebrew summit where it wasn't.
People be drinking hooch here for sure, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
umeshu.
Yeah. What's
But
that?
but
That's
that's
not actually distilling.
but yeah, that's
not
you
making
mean like
anything.
the plum wine that your grandma makes under the counter?
yeah.
Yeah, it's all hooch.
That's not really who.
It's hooch.
No.
But I would love it if homebrewing took off and was legal, and we could do like a cool, almost like a convention where it's like kind of like an indie game convention where it's like, you know, sole single developers or like small teams, but you bring your like your homebrew, and you could like show your setup or something
Sure.
and like talk about different brewing methods. But
You
it's
are
like,
so from Pacific
but it's
Northwest.
like not
that's
companies,
right.
it's individuals, and that would be so cool.
I'm from Seattle.
Yeah, that is such a Seattle. Like, fine.
I used to homebrew in Seattle.
We know.
Yeah, obviously.
You didn't even have to tell us that.
'Cause- yeah, like that's like in your zip code. Like everyone does it up there. You all have your like recipes, and you all make blackberry currant, fucking like whatever, peach cobbler, fucking bullshit.
I made a
IPA.
strawberry
Peach
blonde
cobbler
ale.
IPA.
Yeah, what a strawberry double.
I made a
uh,
strawberry
lager?
blonde.
A
and it was
strawberry double blonde.
Probably the best
stout.
beer I've ever made.
You've
It was
ever
so
met?
good. I've ever
This is the
met.
best beer I've ever met. I don't know why you sounded like that in my impression, but you did.
Well,
But I
that
know it's
sounds
predictable.
pretty.
But I would go to that. That would be fun.
We'll let you wish it.
Hey, so you told us about a beer you had before we started the podcast.
Yeah.
Can we start that back up for a second?
In Hiroshima, I had a mint IPA. And I still can't decide how I feel about it. It was pretty good, and the mint wasn't too overpowering. But like I've had mint beers in the past, and they go quickly from I can't really taste this mint to toothpaste.
I'm going to let that wash over the audience.
Yuck. Okay, hold on. Okay. Well,
Yes.
Yeah.
is IPA. So IPAs
Yeah.
are really bitter, and
Yeah, bitterish.
Mint.
well, they're pretty bitter. That's kind of the. It's kind of the, like they have. They're really dry.
So is it mint or spearmint?
Mint.
Because spearmint would. That's what I would think of toothpaste because that's what.
Right.
Mint.
Okay. Did it have a green tone to it?
No, I thought I did it first. Okay, so when she first started running it, she like ran into this bucket to like help the
spittoon.
system.
Yeah,
you
the
know?
spittoon, yeah.
But at first, I swear I was like, "Is that shit green?" Like,
Right.
and I like said that, and then I like, scared the shit out of her. But like, and then she was putting it in a cup, and I was like, "Oh,
You better not give me any spearmint.
it's not green."
Like green would be fun.
Yeah,
really fun
I've
if
only
it was
had
green.
green beer on St. Patrick's Day.
So-
That's just Budweiser with food coloring.
If you were to, what does this taste like?
Yeah.
It tasted more like a session IPA. Like it was really like light on the bitterness, but still an IPA. So you can still taste like the hops and shit.
Session
But-
just means you can drink more than one.
in a session.
Yeah.
It means it's lower alcohol.
It's such a.
Uh-huh.
I love that.
I've never heard that really.
And then it had like a hint of mint. It wasn't super minty. But yeah, it can borderline on toothpaste very quickly. Mint beers. Because I've made one once and I actually went on the side of not enough mint because I was so worried about that like toothpaste.
You made
mint.
this sound unusual, yet you've made some before?
Yeah. I mean, I also made a beet beer, so I liked the unusual when I was
You
making
hate
beer.
beets.
Yeah, but I wanted my beer to be pink.
You have like you said you wouldn't have borscht because you thought it was like too dark. You're like, I don't like beets.
I don't like beets. They taste like dirt. Beets taste like dirt.
And you made a beer.
Yeah, but I made a brown ale, which is earthy.
You have some kind of like mental condition that makes you want to do this to yourself. Yeah, I hate beets, but I wanted it to be beet colored. I
also,
love beer.
beets have really good puns. I called it the beat 'em up brown.
Was it brown?
Yeah, it was a brown ale.
Was it like have you ever eaten a beet and then taken a shit afterwards?
Ugh,
And then
it looks like a murder.
Yeah, it's like a murder. Was it like that? Was it like that?
No, because the reason I got the idea is I had this beet beer once that was like the beer itself wasn't really pink because it was a darker ale, but the foam on top was pink and it made me so happy.
By process of elimination,
Yeah.
what kind of beer have you not had?
There's probably a lot.
Like what? Pomegranate. Let's see, we're gonna list some shit off. Lettuce beer.
No,
Pomegranate. You've had that.
no, I've never had a
Okay.
lettuce beer.
Cabbage.
No greens. Nope, no green. Yeah, no
Kale?
greens. No,
Spinach.
no salad beers.
Okay.
Oh, I did have a tomato beer and it was gross. It's like a red eye almost, and
But
I don't like
was
those.
Was it added post
I don't know because
fermentation?
that's usually a Randall, and they were like really popular for a long time in Seattle, and then they kind of stopped doing them. But that's where like you take the beer, and as you go to
Beer
put it through the
fads.
tap,
Yeah, that doesn't
it
count.
goes like through
Seattle
like,
That doesn't
proof
count.
or
That
something.
doesn't count.
Yeah, I don't know when the tomato was added. I actually had it here in Japan, a tomato beer, and it was gross.
Was it in a can?
No.
Was it one of those? Okay.
No, it was on draft.
Someone brought me a Bloody Mary at a bar the other day, and it was not spicy at all.
Oh yeah, they're not usually spicy here. Well, if you can find one.
No, there's never been a good one in Japan.
It's a watered down.
I think they're illegal or
tomato
something.
soup. What?
Illegal.
What's illegal?
No.
Spicy? I know.
No, good Bloody Marys. You can get them at some like Canadian bars up in Tokyo. Like, you can get some Caesars, but that's
With the whole pizza coming out the top of it or something.
There was a place in Seattle,
Cheeseburger,
yeah, that had like a slider and like a giant piece
Yeah,
of like
pretzel.
the whole like stack upon stack
Yeah.
of.
it's so corny,
stuff.
but like
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun. Like it's a whole
Mint?
meal.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
So,
go back to mint, huh?
Mint beer, huh?
Yeah.
Does that
We're
just-
still on this.
Why?
I mean, I kind of asked that after I had it because
Gimmick? Just
it was
gimmick.
it was okay.
Look,
Everything
all
else they
mint
had,
beer,
though-
haha, get tricked.
Like everything else they had was like, this is made with Hiroshima lemons, and I was like, this tastes fantastic.
So if you have a bad batch and you just go, "This beer sucks," put some mint in it.
it'll cover
Sell
everything
it,
up.
Sell it to these foreigners.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah,
go.
it'll cover up all the bad flavor.
Flavor.
I love that this changed from just like the listener questions of what kind of convention would you have
No, I wanted to know.
to
Wanted to get to
the
bottom of
roast
this.
of Kinsey and homebrew.
Yeah. Beer Summit.
Well, what's the name of it?
Beer
Beer
Summit.
Summit. Ooh.
Actually, you could
It'd
probably
have
host
to-
a party at
It'd have to be like homebrew something like
Beer Summit.
because Beer Summit, that's the simplest and coolest and gets to the point.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. You should host a party next year. It's called Beer Summit.
Beer Summit
Yeah.
at Bitsummit.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah.
That is a pretty
You
good
heard it. You heard it here first.
Yeah,
A
next
lot
year's-
of exclusives.
Yeah. We will do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Beer Summit.
Last question.
That was the last question.
Oh.
Never mind.
If you want to ask a question, just head on over to our Discord and ask it in the Call Me Up channel.
Nasty Labs. Nasty Labs.
Well, that's all the time we have today, and thank you so much to Wolfgang.
Thank you for
This
having me.
was super fun. Where can people find you on the internet and learn more about your
You
games?
can find Poppyworks on the internet at Poppy.works. We've got a new website going up this week, and it should be a lot better than our old one.
Nice.
Where can people find you on social medias?
Me personally,
where can they find Poppyworks?
Poppyworks.
Work with Poppy?
Well, yes, they can find it on Twitter and on Instagram at Work with Poppy.
All right,
Nice.
cool. And where can people find you?
You can find me mostly on Twitter at OUREN.
Hell
That's my
yeah.
Twitter handle.
You can find me at twitter.com/thehenrydemos and Kinsey Burke.
And you can find me at Kinzilla on all the things, but mostly on Twitter. And of course, you can also find Chuhai Labs at Chuhai Labs on all the thing. And as always, Carved Snowboarding is out now on the Oculus Quest. Halloween Forever is available right now on the Switch eShop.
October soon.
Yeah! October is soon.
Oh, shit.
Get ready for Halloween. Oh, I love Halloween, you guys. And Curse to Golf is out right now on all the things. And as of right now, it's still 10% off on Steam. You can also get Chuhai merch at theyeti.com/Chuhai Labs. You can get an awesome mug with our adorable faces on it. And you can rep Nasty Labs with your coffee, your bourbon, whatever you want. And as always, thank you to the Hyperx Podcast Network. And thanks to all of you for listening. You are legally the best. We will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.